Quarterfinals of the 2026 World Cup is starting really soon. Judging off the last video, I got 5 out of 8 correct. The 3 matches that I got wrong are England versus Mexico, USA versus Belgium, and Brazil versus Norway. So I believe it's only right that I give you guys my predictions for these next exciting fixtures. Starting off with France versus Morocco, we have a repeat of that 2022 World Cup semifinal, where the French ended Morocco's dream run by beating them 2-0. Both teams performed pretty well in the knockout stages so far. For France, they made easy work of their European counterpart Sweden and knocked them out 3-0. But then in the round of 16 against Paraguay, this game was way more scrappy, and that was because of Paraguay's game plan. They had zero interest in wanting to play real football, but fair enough. I know Paraguay got a lot of stick for the dirty football they were playing, but they can't go band for band with France when it comes to playing normal, beautiful football. Now, over to Morocco. Their route to get to this point has been much more difficult. First, in the round of 32, they had to play the Netherlands, which was always bound to be a tough task. But after scoring in the last minute of injury time and then winning on penalties, they set up a match against one of the co-hosts, Canada, and overall they made relatively easy work of them. Yes, I know Canada were the better team for the first half and had a much better chances that they somehow couldn't put away, but eventually Morocco would lock in and run up the score 3-0. Sabari got injured in this match, and he's apparently a major doubt to play in this quarterfinal clash, and that's a huge loss for Morocco. While for France, not only do they have everybody fit, but they've honestly looked like the best team at this World Cup. I'd love it if Morocco could pull off a win against them. It's going to be a good fight. And honestly, if they could go to penalties, they might have a great opportunity to knock France out. But sadly, I am predicting a 2-1 win for France. On to the next match in these World Cup quarterfinals and go over to Spain versus Belgium. And starting off with Spain first, they might have not played the best football, but so far they've completed the job relatively well. In the round 32, they made extremely easy work of Austria, beating them 3-0, while in the match against Portugal in the round 16, this game was a lot more tricky. They pulled off a scrappy 1-0 win with a super sub in the 90th minute. But now, over to Belgium. Belgium were at the brink of elimination at the round of 32 versus Senegal being 2-0 down with 5 minutes to go. Somehow they clutched the game and won 3-2 at the end, which sent them to the next round against USA. They have battered USA 4-1. That's a painful one for USA even after rigging the tournament. Let's just say football won that day. As for the game, I don't think Belgium can pull off a win against the Spaniards. I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Spain. Now let's move on to Norway versus England. This game is about to be absolute cinema, but let's talk about Norway first because they did well to knock out Ivory Coast in the round 32. But going up against Brazil in the round 16 was set to be a huge challenge for them, but they managed to overcome them. Last video I talked about Norway having a real chance against them, but I still picked Brazil. And honestly, it's such a refreshment to see another team in the quarters. Norway won that game 2-1, and now they have another tough task, as they have to play England in the next round. England haven't looked the best all tournament. They struggled against every team now, and last match against Mexico they fought. They gave everything to win that game, being a man down. Mexico gave them a hard time, but didn't have a solution up top. As I mentioned, I believed in Norway last round, but didn't pick them. I'm not making that mistake again. Even if they lose. I'm going for 2-1 Norway win. Last up, we got Argentina versus Switzerland, a repeat of the knockout stage match between the two sides back in the 2014 World Cup. And starting off with Argentina, I admit they are a top 3 favorite to win the World Cup. In the knockout stages, though, they have looked kind of shaky. You would think they will pull off easy wins against their previous opponents, like for example, Cape Verde, who they struggled against, and now Egypt, who they also struggled against. They were down 2-0 in the 81st minute, and they managed to turn the game around. I mean, they do win them in the end, but it's not as swiftly as we thought. And speaking of Switzerland, their round 16 match against Colombia for the most part was boring as hell. The best part of the 90 minutes was watching Jurgen Klopp eat fries in the stands. Match was sent to penalties, where after Colombia missed a couple of their penalties, Switzerland would eventually beat them to make the quarterfinals. I don't know if Switzerland can win this match. To me, this is their end of the run. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Argentina. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, and give me your predictions in the comments.